Good afternoon. My name is Madhu Jain and I'm a senior Indian fashion designer who has been in the business of fashion for little over 30 years. Now, let me correct that. What exactly do I do and what is the true nature of my work? I am a craft revivalist and a textile conservationist because that is what my passion is and that is where my heart lies. If I were to use exactly two words to describe my entire body of life work spread over 3 decades, what would they be? They would be 1, eco-fashion, 2, sustainability. My craft and textile journey evolved in the year 1987 in an organic fashion, in an organic manner. And since then, it is always towards the organic and the sustainable that I've always looked towards for inspiration. I'm here today in front of all of you to talk to you about this fascinating journey which led to the fashioning of a first of its kind textile in the world called bamboo silk ikat. Now, what is so special about bamboo silk ikat? I mean, what is the link between me, you and bamboo silk ikat? Let me tell you in short. Bamboo silk ikat is a textile which is 100% biodegradable. It will not clog landfills for 200 years. It's as biodegradable as you and me. It's like us, earth to earth, dust to dust. In these modern times with rising environmental concerns, this bamboo-based textile ticks all the right boxes, and I can tell you this with great confidence that this textile is the textile of the future, because if we really care about the environment, we care about global warming and seeing what's happening to our planet, then this textile itself has great potential. The $3 trillion fashion industry is the second largest polluter on this earth after oil. The fashion industry accounts for significant amounts of chemical runoffs, effluents from dyes, heavy pesticide use, and the creation of methane gas, which leads to the warming of the planet. Not only that, there's so many of you out here who are wearing t-shirts. Do you know the high environmental cost which is required to grow enough cotton? You're going to be shocked. It's 2,700 liters of water used to irrigate that cotton which is required to make your t-shirt. I want to point out to you that even organic cotton, it's as water intensive. And in a planet where water is fast becoming a rare commodity, precious commodity, it seems almost like criminal to wear clothes, and this seems very strange coming from a person whose profession entails making of garments and selling them. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we need to change our consumption patterns, move towards textiles and alternative fibers which do not deplete the planet. Like bamboo, for example, replenishes itself very fast. Now, this was the year 1987, and this was a conservative Banya Marwadi household where I was a young mother of 2 children, and in that era, women did not venture out of their houses. Rarely they went out to work. So I had a secret which no one ever knew. And the secret was that I was crazy about I was passionate about Indian textiles and craft, our 2,000-year-old craft traditions. And I decided to formalize my interest in the craft and textile sector and move on. But when I went to the elders of the family, they took it as the whims and fancies of the 27-year-old and said, you and work and textiles, no, it's not you. But today I look back and I recall it as a moment of empowerment and the moment where I can say my journey actually began. My first challenge was that I had no seed money. Second was I was not formally trained. Third, I had no godfather or godmother in the fashion industry. So there we were, taking baby steps. It didn't take me long enough to realize as the years went by that, if there is true talent, doors automatically open for you. And also the fact where seed money was concerned, I remember I parted with, I was the proud possessor of over, I had innumerable books which I was collecting since I was a 16-year-old, since I loved reading. So those books provided the seed capital, and also down the road I learned on the job. So I realized a practical training experience is more significant than learning from books. That was one thing I learned. And down the line, I realized that the textile was the king, the weaver, the greatest mathematician of them all, and fashion, a very powerful tool, especially if I wanted to change the mindset of people, especially in the field of craft revival and textile conservation. If you see fashion in front of you, you realize everybody wants a slice of what maybe a famous model, a famous celebrity is wearing. You see in the image behind me, Milind is wearing a Kadhi kurta. In 2011, I was entrusted the task of restoring a rare Khadi sari woven by Pandit Nehru in prison in 1941. And to hold that piece of history in your hands, a thread which linked you to the weaving of Khadi, which was the rallying point for the call for Swarajya during our freedom struggle. Thus, you cannot undermine the power of a simple indigenous Indian textile. After India got partitioned, there were several of our crafts which were lost to us, like the Nakshi Kantha technique, East Bengal Kantha stitches in Bangladesh, Sindhi Taka embroidery in Pakistan. So I wanted to assimilate them and get them back and use them within the Indian context. My first experience was going to Bangladesh, working with BRAC meaning Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committee, which is one of the largest NGOs in the world. It's virtually a parallel economy in Bangladesh. From them, I visited the length and breadth of Bangladesh. I went to remote areas like Manikganj, Jamalpur, and from there I learned what empowerment actually meant. When you organize artisans, craftsmen into a movement and give them design intervention, you can create products which line the shelves of the major stores all over the world. We were invited to do the Commonwealth opening ceremony, where there was a segment called the Fabric of India segment, where we created this humongous 115 feet tall tree of knowledge. We developed the panels for it. These panels involved a lot of design intervention, a lot of craft techniques. The base was bamboo and raw silk combo, and with kalamkari, which used to make the leaves, and then embroidery. There were a lot of components which were used to create this entity. This was an international platform where we showcased the best of Indian craft. And that's when I can say that kalamkari actually took off. Today, when you see a person wearing kalamkari walking down the streets, I think it's a matter of immense pride for me. In India, the craft and textile sector are the second largest generator of employment after agriculture. With the Industrial Revolution in India, you would see people wearing rayon and nylon and all those kind of textiles. For a long time, handlooms and craft took a backbeating. But thanks to a lot of awareness that was created and design intervention, I think things have changed for the better and for the positive. And today you see this great boom. Everybody is talking about eco-friendly textiles. Everybody's talking about the environment. Everyone's talking about social responsibility. It's a dream which we dreamt 31 years ago. So happy to see it, materialize. In 2004, bamboo came into my life. I don't know how it came into my life, whether I came to bamboo or bamboo came to me, but when it did, it was like an instant karmic connect. So we decided to work on bamboo as an alternative fiber, and we were asked to put together a presentation showcasing the versatility of bamboo at the 7th World Bamboo Congress, which was held in New Delhi, India. So these are images from that show which we did, where we are showing how easily it blends with other textiles and how Indian craft can be used to create a garment of great beauty using bamboo. Bamboo silk ikat, it was a huge challenge. It was a dream since I love working with ikat. It took us 15 years to create bamboo silk ikat. Basically, the hunt was to find the right weaver who was willing to take on the challenge, because there were a lot of hits and misses. Number one, it's not easy to procure bamboo yarn. But finally, we managed to do it. And like the images you see now, one is of bamboo yarn and one is of silk yarn. The next image which you're going to be seeing is when it's dyed in indigo using completely organic dyes. The next image you have is when the yarn has got ikat on it. Ikat is a resist tie and dye technique. It's basically derived from the Malay word mangikat, which means to knot or to bind. And India has been one of the major hubs of ikat in the world. Ikat is found in different parts of the world under different names. Like in Japan, ikat is called kasur. In Uzbekistan, ikat is called adras or atlas. It's mostly worn by royalty. You have in Thailand, it's matmi or madmi. The Indian ikat, you have the ikat belts in Odisha, Andhra, Gujarat. And it's in Gujarat you find the rarest form of ikat in the world, which is a double ikat called Patan Patola. Now we're showing the process of how bamboo silk ikat is being woven. And this is here, the warp is silk, the weft is bamboo. This is a single ikat textile. This is exactly what I'm wearing right now. If you can just have a look at this. This is bamboo silk ikat, what you're seeing on the loom. Okay? Completely organic, completely biodegradable. And most important, made by hand. Anything hand woven is what my passion is. It's the philosophy on which my work is based. I think Indian, I think Swadeshi, and I'm proud about it. When you wear a piece of bamboo, you are saving so much water, because the water which is required for bamboo is minimal as compared to other plants. You know, bamboo is one of the most beautiful fibers I have ever come across in my life. And what I feel is that whether, you know, we have worked with so many techniques, some we've managed to succeed bringing them to the mainstream of fashion. Some we have not. You know, there has to be a certain level of ethics in fashion. I strongly believe in that. And there has to be credibility on what you show on the ramp and off the ramp. If a collection that you develop, a textile you develop, doesn't do well, should not get discouraged. You should just silently move on, carrying your work and moving on to something even better. So I would like to just leave you all with just a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you.